Joseph starting with him all year long. Tonight, he's truly the lead guard.
Here comes Brunson on his first drive. Boy, how often did we see that last?
Things Jaden Ivey has to learn. He turned his head to look for the screen. Brunson went the other way.
Mitchell Robinson, newly minted.
And allow them to attack the paint more than they were able to a year ago.
Yeah, Alec Burks is unavailing us before the game. Still about 3 weeks away from making his return, so likely to miss the first part of the season. But he was the kind of veteran player that they felt they needed to put around this.
Shoulder into you, it's almost impossible to recover and get back in front of him.
Sadiq Bey finding a seam. Early stages, preseason opener for both of these two teams. Here's Evan Fournier, three-pointer splash.
And Evan, with this smaller lineup with Stewart at the 5, or are they going to play?
It's the last slot in the Eastern Conference. Last 3 years.
Guys on a championship team. He's the guy that developed Siakam, Van Vliet, and especially a rookie point guard. That's very, very difficult. Second half of last year, he was the best rookie in the league.
Bogdanovich acquired in that deal just over a week ago. Robinson turns back Ivey. My goodness, and then it's Randall with a hard left-handed flush. Just took such a quantum leap last year. Parlays that into the big contract with the Knicks, and there's Bogdanovich hoping to Ivey. This is where this young man is so dangerous. In the open floor, almost instantly becomes, Stan, one of the fastest players in the league.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Tyrese Maxey in Philly with that end-to-end speed.
Hard. Stan, that's what he does.
And it is, and that is what Dwayne Casey is worried about with this smaller lineup.
Revive his career. Barrett off the steal. Reddish inside, beautiful pass. Back to Barrett. And a nice little push for the Knicks.
They're creating these points off their defense. They're doing a great job defensively, making things tough on Detroit.
That is Bogdanovich. One of the prettiest strokes in the short. Toppin tracks it down. Toppin now the trailer. Here he comes to the wreck. Obi Toppin taking flight.
Well, that's what Obi Toppin does best. Out in transition where there's space on the floor, attacking the rim.
7-point Knick lead as we come up on 3 minutes left in the quarter. That is Stewart. Improved three-point stroke over the latter stages of last season.
And they had him shooting it in the summer, and that will give him a chance to play with Bagley in a bigger lineup.
Earlier today, and he has told me that Walker away from the team right now as they have mutually agreed to find a better situation for Walker. So whether that means a trade, which doesn't seem likely, or a buyout. Guys, there is no timeline to get this done except for the fact that right now the Pistons have 16 guaranteed contracts on their roster. So Coach, they do kind of need to get this done before opening night. Otherwise, they will be forced to cut somebody else until they can work out this buyout with Kemba.
Yeah, no question. And look, that's always difficult, but let's keep it in perspective. We're talking about your 15th man. Not going to make a huge difference on how many games you win or lose.
Year 3 for Troy Weaver as the Pistons general manager, as they have suffered through 3 straight 20-win years with their 23-win season a year ago. But again, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in Detroit. Look at some of the young talent that they have brought in. Already we've seen Ivy. How do they fare early part of the season as they try to fight their way, Stan, into contention in the Motor City?
Well, the foundation for them going forward is the backcourt. Cade Cunningham, who we know is an outstanding player who can score, but he's great at setting other people up, and Jaden Ivey, who's extremely explosive and an improving shooter. That's the core of what they're going to try to do. They've got other good complementary players. I think Duran's going to be very good. They've got Sadiq Bey and Stewart. Bogdanovich, sort of a bridge player until some of these other guys are ready, but the backcourt's the foundation.
Well, speaking of Duran, the young lottery pick has checked in for the first time. Duran acquired with the 13th overall pick of Charlotte, and acquired actually in that move for Kemba Walker There is Duran on his rebound. Here comes Killian Hayes, year 3 for Hayes as it's knocked out of bounds. The official said last touched by the Pistons, so it's a turnover. This is a big year for Killian Hayes after a little bit up and down stand his first 2 seasons.
Yeah, as we see the ball go off of his leg. I mean, Killian Hayes is a good, solid basketball player, but he has not shown either an offensive aggressiveness or the ability to knock down shots. He's been a liability at the offensive end of the floor.
Three-pointer from Reddish won't go. Derrick Rose into the game for the first time. Rose on the attack. He's leaning down, an ankle injury that cost him more than 50 games last season.
Derrick Rose has had a lot more success leaning down than I have, Spiro.
Jump pass, Joseph on the other side. That is Livers on his first three-point take. Final 26 seconds of the quarter. Reddish, beautifully set up by Quickly. And even better interior defense for the Pistons. And now Detroit can hold for the final shot. This is Hayes, still only 21 years of age. Sizes up Rose in that Knick defense. 4 seconds. Joseph on a launch. Fight forward, weak side, that's Duran, and the Pistons won't get a shot off. So the Knicks off to that hot shooting start, but they close with just